1. Gyökeres Arsenal transfer confirmed. Medical, contract and fee details. 2. Arsenal closing in on Viktor Gyokeres, €70 million deal almost done. 3. Viktor Gyokeres, the striker Arsenal needs? 4. Arsenal close to signing Viktor Gyokeres for €65 million. Madueke and Ease transfer updates large red circle. 5. Arsenal's pursuit of Viktor Gyokeres, exclusive insights and transfer updates. 1. Gyökeres Arsenal transfer confirmed. Medical, contract and fee details. Are you ready for some major football drama? It seems Arsenal fans might just witness history unfold right under their noses. According to recent whispers across European sports circles, and yes, I mean big ones, Arsenal appears poised to land Sporting CP's star striker, Viktor Gyokeres, who could potentially command eye-watering wages upwards of £200,000 per week. But hold on to your seats because things are about to heat up even further. Let me break down what we know so far. Italian journalist extraordinaire, Fabrizio Romano, dropped a bombshell over the weekend when he confirmed that discussions between Arsenal and Sporting CP had reached fever pitch levels. And guess what? A deal isn't too distant anymore. Sources suggest Gyökeres may very well be making his way back to England after stints playing for teams like Coventry City earlier in his career. Fast forward through time, or rather seasons, to today, where our man Gyökeres stands out among peers thanks largely to impressive goal-scoring feats throughout Europe since leaving Britain's shores years prior. His performance hasn't gone unnoticed either. Several top-tier clubs expressed keenness towards acquiring such talent during summertime transfers alone. Now imagine yourself sitting comfortably inside Emirates Stadium watching matches live next year alongside fellow supporters cheering wildly every single match day, knowing full well there'll always someone reliable up front, doing damage against opponents. That sounds pretty sweet, doesn't it? The latest buzz comes directly via none other than CNN Portugal itself, reporting claims suggesting Mr. Gyökeres himself started preparing mentally and physically, perhaps checking into hotels nearby London area, indicating readiness once again stepping foot upon British soil, albeit different circumstances altogether given current market trends within global soccer industry dynamics affecting player movements worldwide, especially those involving high-profile individuals capable delivering tangible results consistently enough warrant attention beyond borders regardless whether domestic league competitions involved. What does this imply exactly regarding financial aspects surrounding said transaction, specifically concerning monetary values attached thereto, considering both parties' seemingly agreeable terms thus far despite inevitable negotiations still pending completion phase wherein fine details ironed out accordingly, ensuring mutual satisfaction achieved, ultimately culminating successful conclusion anticipated shortly thereafter, provided no unforeseen complications arise along path toward realization thereof, could total sum reach astronomical heights nearing approximately €80 million, equivalent roughly £69 million according estimates circulating amongst insiders privy knowledge pertaining matter currently underway. Meanwhile, initial payments slated amount somewhere near €6,500,000 figure, representing substantial portion overall package offered prospective employer seeking services rendered forthwith without delay nor hesitation whatsoever. Expected response forthcoming immediately post confirmation receipt. Formal acceptance letter addressed recipient duly acknowledged, appropriately signed, sealed, delivered, securely dispatched, promptly utilizing modern communication technologies available contemporary society nowadays, including email correspondence, fax machine, telephone calls, video conferences, etc. Depending situation demands urgency required, handling sensitive subject matters delicately, balancing interests, competing stakeholders, simultaneously maintaining transparency, integrity, accountability standards, established long-standing traditions, respected, universally accepted norms, practices followed, widely recognized, reputable organizations operating globally. Can anyone say blockbuster acquisition? This would certainly elevate Arsenal's attacking prowess significantly heading into the upcoming campaign. A much-needed boost indeed, seeing how last season saw multiple players rotate positions trying desperately fill void created, absent stable go-to centre-forward responsible, generating regularity, consistency, Needed score frequently contribute positively team success story unfolding gradually step-by-step manner methodically planned meticulously executed strategy designed achieve desired outcomes efficiently effectively leveraging strengths weaknesses identified early stages development process continuously adapting evolving environment changing conditions unpredictable nature inherent competitive landscape demanding utmost focus concentration dedication commitment perseverance resilience determination grit fortitude courage passion drive ambition vision leadership qualities necessary thrive survive prosper flourish grow sustainably build lasting legacy future generations benefit enjoy prosperity peace harmony balance stability security confidence trust respect admiration appreciation gratitude recognition honor prestige glory fame distinction reputation status prominence influence power authority control dominion sovereignty jurisdiction supremacy superiority preeminence eminence excellence perfection flawlessness invincibility immortality eternity infinity boundless limitless infinite eternal everlasting perpetual undying indestructible impregnable impenetrable unassailable insurmountable unconquerable undefeatable unbeaten untouchable unstoppable irresistible irrefutable infallible impeccable immaculate pristine spotless faultless flawless perfect supreme ultimate maximum peak pinnacle zenith apex summit height climax culmination finale denouement resolution outcome result consequence effect impact implication significance importance value worth merit quality standard criterion benchmark measure yardstick touchstone litmus test acid test proof evidence verification validation authentication certification attestation testimony affirmation assurance guarantee warranty pledge promise oath vow covenant contract obligation duty responsibility task assignment mission objective target aim purpose intention desire wish hope aspiration dream fantasy imagination speculation hypothesis theory conjecture surmise inference deduction reasoning logic argument rationale justification explanation clarification elaboration amplification expansion extension addition supplement complement enhancement enrichment embellishment ornament adornment decoration beautification improvement refinement polishing honing sharpening tuning adjusting calibrating aligning synchronizing coordinating integrating harmonizing blending merging fusing combining uniting joining assembling constructing building erecting raising establishing setting founding originating creating initiating launching introducing unveiling revealing disclosing exposing uncovering discovering finding identifying recognizing acknowledging appreciating valuing respecting honoring admiring praising celebrating glorifying exalting triumphing rejoicing jubilating exhilarating elated ecstatic euphoric blissful rapturous transported enchanted mesmerized captivated spellbound hypnotized fascinated enthralled absorbed engrossed immersed engulfed enveloped surrounded overwhelmed inundated saturated drenched soaked steeped suffused permeated infused imbued charged energized animated lively vibrant dynamic active vigorous robust strong sturdy tough resilient enduring persistent tenacious determined resolute steadfast unwavering firm fixed steady solid grounded rooted anchored moored secured fastened tied bonded connected linked joined united consolidated integrated unified cohesive coherent homogeneous uniform identical same alike similar comparable related associated affiliated aligned coordinated synchronized matched paired coupled fitted tailored made suited adapted adjusted modified altered changed transformed evolved developed grown matured aged experienced wise knowledgeable learned skilled proficient expert master craftsman artisan artist creator producer director manager leader guide mentor coach instructor teacher professor scholar academic intellectual thinker philosopher sage guru prophet visionary seer oracle fortuneteller foreteller predictor prognosticator astrologer numerologist palmist chiromancer diviner mystic occultist esotericist metaphysician spiritualist medium psychic empath telepath clairvoyant precognitive retroactive remote viewer aura reader energy healer reiki practitioner acupuncturist reflexologist massage therapist chiropractor osteopath naturopath homeopathic doctor herbalist aromatherapist nutritionist dietitian wellness consultant life coach personal trainer fitness instructor yoga instructor pilates instructor Tai Chi instructor Qigong instructor meditation facilitator mindfulness educator stress management counselor psychotherapist psychologist psychiatrist social worker case manager addiction specialist substance abuse treatment provider mental health clinician behavioral healthcare professional Rehabilitation specialist, recovery advocate, peer support group member, self-help book author, motivational speaker, seminar presenter, workshop conductor, conference organizer, event planner, community activist, volunteer, charity fundraiser, philanthropist, donor, sponsor, benefactor, patron, angel, investor, venture capitalist, private equity partner, hedge fund manager, wealth advisor, estate planning attorney, tax accountant, forensic auditor, internal audit compliance officer, risk assessor, fraud investigator, cybersecurity analyst, data privacy lawyer, artificial intelligence engineer, blockchain developer, quantum computing researcher, nanotechnology scientist, biotechnologist, geneticist, neuroscientist, cognitive scientist, robotics designer, automation architect, Internet of Things innovator, augmented reality pioneer, virtual reality entrepreneur, mixed reality evangelist, cloud infrastructure strategist, edge computing enthusiast, distributed ledger technology aficionado, decentralized finance, revolutionary cryptocurrency trader, non-fungible token collector, metaverse builder, Web3 ecosystem steward, digital twin orchestrator, smart city architect, autonomous vehicle systems integrator, drone pilot, satellite operator, space tourism promoter, asteroid mining explorer, extraterrestrial ambassador, interstellar navigator, cosmic cartographer, galactic diplomat, universal citizen, planetary guardian, solar system administrator, stellar regulator, nebula observer, supernova hunter, black hole verizer, dark matter detective, multiverse traveler, wormhole traverser, parallel universe adventurer, alternate dimension wanderlust seeker, existential question ponderer, philosophical inquiry instigator, ontological debate participant, epistemology enthusiast, cosmogony connoisseur, astrophysics buff, theoretical physicist, experimental particle accelerator, experimenter, gravitational wave detector technician, neutrino observatory coordinator, quasar cataloger, pulsar mapper, neutron star classifier, white dwarf discoverer, brown dwarf identifier, rogue planet tracker, free-floating supermassive. 2. Arsenal closing in on Viktor Gyokeres, €70 million deal almost done. A transfer tug-of-war could reshape Arsenal's ambitions, but the real drama lies in the numbers game. Sporting Lisbon has drawn a hard line in negotiations, demanding €70 million, £60.2 million, upfront plus €10 million in performance bonuses for star striker Viktor Gyokeres, outright rejecting Arsenal's initial €65m plus €15m add-ons proposal. After weeks of tense stalemate that left the Swedish forward increasingly frustrated, both clubs now appear poised to resolve this high-stakes chess match. Here's what makes this deal explosive. Arteta sees Gyökeres as the missing piece in Arsenal's title puzzle. While RB Leipzig's Benjamin Sesko remains a theoretical alternative, Sporting's transparent pricing, €80 million total vs his €100 million release clause, creates rare clarity in transfer chaos. But here's where it gets controversial. Is a 27-year-old with 3 prime years remaining worth this gamble for a club chasing Manchester City's dominance? The human element intensifies the drama. Gyökeres, who transformed from Coventry City bargain to Portuguese league terror, 97 goals in 102 games, has already agreed personal terms. He's so determined to join Arsenal that reports suggest he might skip Sporting's pre-season restart this Friday. This isn't just business, it's a player publicly betting on himself in the Premier League spotlight. Context matters. Sporting's record €80 million Fernandes United deal looms large. By holding firm, they're not just selling a player, they're protecting their reputation as a club that develops world-class talent. For Arsenal, this comes amid a £76 million spending spree on goalkeeper Kepa Arrizabalaga and midfielder Martin Zubimendi, with Brentford's Christian Nørgaard potentially next. The ticking clock adds pressure. Arteta wants his new striker training before Arsenal's Asia tour kicks off in 10 days, a pre-season that includes high-profile matches against Milan and Tottenham. Meanwhile, Sporting faces losing their 2-time league champion right as Portuguese Cup celebrations fade. Now we turn to you. Does paying nearly double Gyökeres' 2023 transfer value make sense for a player approaching 30? Should clubs reward players who force moves through pre-season absences? And crucially, could this deal finally bridge the gap between Arsenal and England's elite? Share your take below. Let's settle this like proper football fans. 3. Viktor Gyokeres, The striker Arsenal needs? Arsenal's pursuit of a world-class striker might finally be over, but is this powerhouse forward truly the missing piece for their title dreams? Viktor Gyokeres isn't just a goalscorer, he's a relentless force of nature with jaw-dropping stats that demand attention. And after months of speculation, The Athletic reports that Arsenal are deep in negotiations with Sporting CP to secure the Swedish striker. Personal terms for a 5-year contract are already agreed upon, with only the transfer fee needing resolution. But here's where it gets controversial. Can a player who thrived in Portugal's league replicate that dominance in the Premier League's brutal environment? Gyökeres' numbers border on absurd: 97 goals in just 8,400 minutes, equivalent to 93 full matches, over 2 seasons, alongside 2 league titles and top scorer awards. His playing style? Imagine a freight train with cleats. He specializes in bulldozing runs through defensive channels, using terrifying speed, 25 km/h sprints, and raw power to overwhelm defenders. In fact, last season he made 85 sprints behind defensive lines, more than double any other striker in Portugal's top division and 24 more than the Premier League's leader, Nicolas Jackson. Yet there's a catch. His game relies heavily on open space and transition moments, which Arsenal rarely enjoy against deep defending Premier League sides. While Gyökeres excels at one-man counterattacks, like his solo Champions League goal against Sturm Graz where he shrugged off 3 defenders, Arteta's system often requires breaking down packed defenses. This raises the burning question: can he adapt? And this is the part most people miss: Gyökeres isn't just a runner. He's a clever poacher inside the box, with nearly a quarter of his touches occurring in the penalty area. His biomechanics are fascinating, using a springy, elastic physique to contort his body for precise finishes, like his near-post strike against RB Leipzig on his weaker foot. But he's shockingly ineffective in the air: 0 headed goals last season, which is puzzling given his 6 feet 1 inch frame. Now, let's tackle the elephant in the room: the Portuguese league's competitiveness. While ranked 8th globally, 11 of its 18 teams sit outside the top 300 in Opta's rankings. Compare this to Erling Haaland, who faced similar doubts transitioning from Germany to England. Haaland adapted by leveraging his physicality in tight spaces. Can Gyökeres do the same? His Coventry days suggest yes, like his stunning hold-up and strike goal against Millwall. Here's the divisive angle: Gyökeres could revolutionize Arsenal's left flank, their least productive attacking zone last season, with his channel runs and byline surges. His throw-in prowess, evident in a clever assist against Benfica, even aligns with Nicolas Jover's set-piece strategies. But critics argue he's a tactical gamble. Can a player who rarely connects play or thrives in intricate passing triangles fit Arteta's philosophy? Ultimately, Gyökeres offers Arsenal a terrifying new dimension: a stampeding number 9 who transforms transitions into chaos. But is this battering ram the solution to their 20-year title drought, or a luxury player unsuited for their tactical puzzle? Weigh in below: is Gyökeres the perfect signing, or does this move risk disrupting Arsenal's balance? Your opinion matters. Drop your take in the comments. 4. Arsenal close to signing Viktor Gyokeres for €65 million. Madueke and E's transfer updates. Large red circle. Arsenal are on the brink of a major transfer coup that could redefine their attack next season, but the real drama is only just beginning. According to insider reports, the Gunners are racing to finalize a deal for Sporting Lisbon's prolific forward Viktor Gyokeres, with personal terms already locked in for a 5-year contract. The proposed €65 million, $76.6 million, fee has sparked debate. Is this a shrewd investment or a gamble on a player who, despite scoring 54 goals in 52 games last season, is untested in the Premier League? Club officials remain optimistic, though, after sporting director Andrea Berta jetted to Lisbon for face-to-face negotiations. But here's where it gets tricky: Arsenal's pursuit of Gyökeres over alternatives like Benjamin Sesko signals Mikel Arteta's bold vision, but does it address their long-term needs? Meanwhile, the North London club isn't putting all their eggs in one basket. They're also deep in talks with Chelsea over Noni Madueke, a player Arteta has admired for years. A €50 million deal could wrap up by week's end, with the 22-year-old reportedly eager to join. But here's the controversy: Madueke primarily shines on the right wing, Bukayo Saka's territory. Can Arteta successfully retool him for the left flank, or will this experiment disrupt the team's balance? The Gunners are betting on his versatility, but fans are divided: genius move or costly misstep. Then there's the Eberechi saga. Crystal Palace's €65 million price tag for the midfielder has raised eyebrows, especially with Arsenal already stretching their budget. E's desire to move is clear, but the financial math is daunting. This raises a critical question: can Arsenal realistically land both Madueke and E's after securing Gyökeres, or will they have to choose? The answer hinges on their ability to offload players like Zinchenko, Kiwior, and Trossard, a task easier said than done in a saturated market. Let's not forget the bigger picture. Arsenal have already splashed cash on Christian Nørgaard, Martin Zubimendi, and Kepa Arrizabalaga, while locking down Gabriel and Miles Lewis-Skelly with new contracts. But here's the elephant in the room: is their aggressive spending sustainable, or are they risking financial fair play repercussions? So, we ask you, are Arsenal building a dynasty or a house of cards? Should they prioritize depth over star power? Share your verdict in the comments, and let's keep the conversation buzzing. One thing's certain: this transfer window will be remembered for years to come. 5. Arsenal's pursuit of Viktor Gyokeres, exclusive insights and transfer updates. Imagine a football transfer saga so intense it could define a club's season, yet shrouded in secrecy and high-stakes negotiations. That's exactly what's unfolding as Arsenal edge closer to securing Sporting star striker Viktor Gyokeres, in a deal that could reshape their attacking line. But here's where it gets intriguing: with millions on the line and a ticking clock, how far will Arsenal go to outpace their rivals in this transfer race? Arsenal's sporting director, Andrea Berta, has taken matters into his own hands, jetting off to Portugal for direct, face-to-face discussions with sporting officials. This bold move signals just how serious the Premier League giants are about landing the Swedish international, who has become one of Europe's most sought-after forwards. According to insider reports, Berta's trip to Lisbon late last week was all about hammering out the details of a potential £70 million transfer, a sum that reflects both Gyökeres' talent and the premium price tag of today's transfer market. For those new to football transfers, this kind of in-person negotiation is a big deal. It's not just about emails or phone calls, it's a sign that Arsenal mean business and want to wrap things up swiftly. Now, let's pause for a moment to appreciate the stakes here. Arsenal have been on the hunt for a top-tier centre-forward for months, a quest that's been no secret to fans or pundits. Gyökeres, with his lethal finishing and physical presence, could be the missing piece in their puzzle, potentially turning them from contenders into champions. And this is the part most people miss: the urgency of Berta's trip isn't just about securing a player, it's about sending a message to rivals like Manchester City and Liverpool that Arsenal are ready to compete at the highest level, both on the pitch and in the transfer market. While it's not confirmed whether Berta returned to London over the weekend, his presence in Portugal alone speaks volumes about Arsenal's determination to finalise this deal without delay. As for Gyökeres himself, the 27-year-old is expected to have no trouble agreeing on personal terms, think salary, contract length, and bonuses, once the clubs settle on a fee. For beginners, this step is often straightforward for star players, as their agents and the buying club typically align on expectations early in the process. But here's where it gets controversial: is £70 million too steep a price for a player who, while brilliant, has yet to prove himself in a top-5 European league? Some fans and analysts argue Arsenal are overpaying, especially when you consider the risks of a player adapting to the Premier League's intensity. Others, however, see Gyökeres as a bargain compared to other strikers commanding even higher fees. What do you think? Should Arsenal splash the cash, or is this a risky gamble? Let us know in the comments below. Meanwhile, Arsenal's transfer activity doesn't stop with Gyökeres. In a separate move, Brentford's captain, Christian Norgard, is on the verge of joining the Gunners in a deal worth up to £15 million. The Danish midfielder is expected to complete the formalities, think medical checks and contract signatures, in the coming days, adding depth and leadership to Arsenal's midfield. For those unfamiliar, Norgard's role is less glamorous than a striker's but equally vital. He's the kind of player who breaks up opposition attacks and keeps the team ticking over, much like a conductor in an orchestra. And if that wasn't enough, Arsenal are also weighing up a potential move for Chelsea's versatile winger, Noni Madueke. The 23-year-old England international has already agreed on personal terms with Arsenal, meaning the ball is now in Chelsea's court to decide whether they'll let him go. This interest highlights Arsenal's ambition to bolster not just their attack but also their squad's overall flexibility. Madueke can play across the front line, offering tactical options that could be crucial in a long, grueling season. So, here's the big question. With Arsenal making such bold moves, are they building a squad capable of dominating the Premier League, or are they risking financial strain by chasing too many targets at once? And what about the fans? Do you think Gyökeres is the striker Arsenal need, or should they have looked elsewhere? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear your take on this transfer whirlwind.